Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and today we're going to be talking about the cryptocurrency markets as a whole. We're going to be doing some technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. We're going to be throwing those two coins in because there's not a whole lot to talk about on Bitcoin, just a couple of things. So we're going to be throwing those two coins in also so you guys can know what to expect with those coins as well. We're going to be talking about all of that and more in today's video, but if you enjoyed today's video, you should definitely think about dropping a like and subscribing because, guys, I make 4 cryptocurrency videos a week, and also the channel is about to explode. I have all kinds of things going on behind the scenes that you guys don't even know about yet. The channel is about to start doing very, very well. Just hang in with me for about another month, and things are going to go crazy. All right, let's get into it. Enough chitter-chatter. Bitcoin last night ran up all the way to $9,000, exactly where I said it was going to. I called $9,000 as the big level of resistance. Now, of course, we're only a few hours away from this. These are 4-hour candlesticks. This is not the 1-hour chart. I did call $9,000 as a big level of resistance because $9,000 was both a Fibonacci level. It was the 50% retracement level on the Fibonacci from 11,800 down to 6,500. It was a 50% retracement level up to our double top up here. As well, we have a lot of lines of support and resistance over here on 9,000, and it's also a big even. We'll be talking about that in a second, though. Let's talk about the market as a whole first. Bitcoin is currently trading at $8,763.85 according to CoinMarketCap. Its market capitalization is just under $150 billion. This was a little bit over $150 billion, which is refreshing for the first time in a little while, as Bitcoin hit $9,000 just last night. The volume of all of cryptocurrency is picking up quite substantially. Bitcoin's volume is back up into the $8 billion range. Just about a week ago, Bitcoin's volume was hovering in the $4 to $5 billion, so that's a really good thing to see. As you can see, there are the top 5 cryptocurrencies, which EOS is in the top 5 again. That's crazy. As you can see, the top 5 cryptocurrencies all have billion-dollar volumes going on right now. We haven't seen something like that in a very long time. Just a couple of days ago, Bitcoin Cash and EOS did not have billion-dollar volume days. Now, of course, we also have Tether down here with a billion-dollar volume day, but Tether's its own special thing. Seeing this amount of volume in the market is a very good thing. It means that there's a lot more activity coming back into the market, and hopefully along with that will flow some money back into the market. As we can see, the 24-hour volume for all of cryptocurrency is $26 billion. Now, that capped out around $60 billion at the all-time high in late December and early January. That capped out in the 50s to 60s, but it is nice to see that continue to grow. The market capitalization is sitting right around $380 billion. I think this ran up to right around $400 billion yesterday. As you can see, we're having a nice little spike here. You can even see it on the all-time chart. If we come here year to date, you'll see it a little bit better. But we bottomed out around $250 billion. You guys all know that story. We bottomed out around $250 billion. We had the double bottom that I talk about a lot. And now we ran up all the way back up right around $400 billion, which was very nice indeed. The Bitcoin dominance is dropping a little bit because a lot of the volume, or a lot of the valuation, I should say, is moving from Bitcoin back into more speculative and more risky investments. So that's where a lot of the money is going right now. That's why some of the money, or that's why I think anyway, some of the money is going into the altcoins, is because people are getting more, they're starting to take more risks because they think a bull market is forming, and so do I. Let's get on to the technical analysis portion of the video, and I'll explain exactly why I think that might be starting. So as we can see here, this is what the chart of Bitcoin looks like. This is the 4-hour chart. Let's zoom out and get a little bit of context for the entire bear market and the bull market that ran up to it. As we all know, we ran up to $20,000, and we've been in a pretty substantial bear market ever since mid-December into early January, if you were following the altcoins instead of Bitcoin. But what we have here is that Bitcoin broke the long-term level of the long-term uptrend of support, but we managed to get back above it with this $1,000 green candlestick right here. That was very nice. Things were not looking so good down here, but we managed to break straight up above it. We had a lot of trading right around $8,000. We broke below it for a little while. That was kind of scary, and then we got back above it, and we ran all the way up to $9,000 last night. I was talking about that with the guys in the Discord server. You should go join the Discord server so we can talk to you about it also. We like seeing new people join the Discord server. We love watching our little family grow. It's so cute. Isn't it so great? Anyway, if you're in the Discord server, make sure you leave a comment and tell everybody to join. It is pretty cool. Anyway, Bitcoin ran up to $8,000. I remember watching this candlestick, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect us to hit $9,000 today, and that's exactly what happened. We hit $9,000, and we got a little bit of resistance there. As I said, $9,000 is a big level of resistance, and I'll quickly show you why that is, since we have a little bit of time here. A big part of the reason for that is, as you can see, this horizontal line is representing $9,000. As you can see, we have a little tiny bit of a double top here on $9,000. We have a bunch of trading around $9,000 over here. We also have 2 tops over here on $9,000. And if we zoom out, we're going to see a bottom right about here on $9,000 if my chart will load, but I don't think it's going to because my chart doesn't like to load. There we go. As you can see, we have a bottom right here on $9,000. The other reason that it is a very important level is, well, another reason it's a very important level is because we just topped out at it right here. I think we're eventually going to break it. I think we're probably going to break it within the next week if we're going to at all. But another reason that is an important level is because if we bring Fibonacci out here, as you can see, the 50% retracement level from our bottom here at 6,400 up to 11,700, 50% back to that would be a Fibonacci level, which sits right at $9,000. So that's a big reason that $9,000 is an important level of resistance, and you're going to want to be watching that level in the coming days and weeks. I think we're going to break it before the coming weeks, though. Another big thing that a lot of people probably haven't seen yet, so I'll be the first to inform you, hopefully, is if we come here to the log scale, there's a very important downtrend that some more people that are really, really high into technical analysis like to talk about. I'm kind of over-exaggerating that, really. The reason I say that is because a lot of people use the linear scale on Bitcoin, but a lot of people that are more really in-depth into technical analysis use the logarithm scale, which readjusts the scale so that the scale is based on percentage movement rather than linear movement. So basically what that means is that the scale is it's augmented in a different way. It's logarithms, it's math. You learned it in high school. It's not a big deal, though. The point is it's a different scale that a lot of people use, so it is an important scale. Because a big thing about technical indicators is that the more people use them, the more powerful they are. Markets are not they're not physics equations, okay? They're people trading and their computers trading. So the more people use a technical indicator, the more powerful it is. And a lot of people do use a log chart, and they do also draw this downtrend right here. As you can see, we have a touch up here, the little pivot, pivot point, as I like to call it, up here at 19,500, 19,800 at the all-time high, essentially. We have our set point. We have our defining point here for the downtrend right here, and then we have another touch here in this double top. And if we zoom in here, we can see that we broke this downtrend for the first time last night. We broke above it. We had resistance right around $8,500, $8,600 on the bottom of this downtrend, and we managed to break it. This is really important, guys. This downtrend is one of the last, well, actually, it was the last remnant of the bear market that we were really in, the really, really bearish technical indicators. Of course, we have levels of resistance that we need to get through, but that was one of the biggest things I was looking for us to break, and we broke it. So guys, I'm very excited about that. One more thing on the Bitcoin chart, and then we're going to move on to Ethereum and Litecoin. I don't have as much to say on them, so we should be able to breeze through that. Let's go back here to the auto scale, and I do want to point something out, and that is that we are moving very, very quickly on Bitcoin. Now, the bear market is dragged out, so we're more used to longer moves at this point than we were in, say, mid-2017. But the fact is the market for Bitcoin has been moving pretty quickly, and the rest of the cryptocurrency market. So we need to keep that in mind. The RSI will remind us of that, because if we come out here to the day chart, as we can see, we're getting pretty high up here into the RSI. RSI is moving up above 60, so we're getting into that selling territory for a lot of people. A lot of people are still buying. I think we're still probably going to end up breaking 9,000 and maybe getting support there in about a week or so. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully, so no matter what happens, we need to stay above this long-term uptrend. That's basically all that matters, really. And also above that downtrend on the log scale that I just showed you. But I think we may be due for a little bit of a correction, just a little bit of a bull flag for the next couple of days, so we can really solidify our position in the high 8,000s and then push on to 9, 10, 11, and hopefully 12,000 so that we can break this double top. If we break this double top, it should basically be smooth sailing up to the all-time high and beyond. I think there's definitely room for Bitcoin to run up to $30,000 or $40,000 in 2018, maybe even higher. You know, Bitcoin moves a lot faster than we expect it to. All right, let's go on to the Ethereum chart. So Ethereum, as you can see, has been doing pretty well in the recent days. A lot of the volume, it's been growing faster than Bitcoin has, actually. As we can see, the bottom for Ethereum was right around $380, $390. We'll call it $400 for argument's sake. And it ran up here and got a little bit of resistance here at $600. So that's a 50% return. If you guys bought the bottom on Ethereum, like I was telling you that was the bottom, then you're probably doing pretty well right now. Part of the reason that this is topping out is because $600 is a big even number that we'll be looking at in just a second. But another reason is because we have the 200-day moving average here, which is this red line, as you can see here. We zoom in here, we're getting a little bit of resistance on that 200-day moving average. That is not a good thing. We want to be above the 200-day moving average on all these cryptocurrencies, but especially on Ethereum. Well, not necessarily especially on Ethereum, but it is important for Ethereum anyway. We want to get above that, and also what I was just saying about $600 being important. If we come in here to the 4 hour, we'll be able to see this a little better. $600 is 50% up from the bottom, so that's an important thing to remember also. But $600 also has a lot of trading over here. As we can see, there's some support on the $600 level back here. There's some resistance here. If we zoom out, we're going to see a lot more touches on $600. As you can see, we initially pulled back to $600 here in early February when the entire market bottomed out on February the 6th. And then we also have some trading around $600 over here. And also, it's a big even. Typically, people like to trade around numbers that have a lot of zeros in them, so that's a big reason why $600 is playing an important role in Ethereum right now. Now, we want to keep an eye out for these moving averages. If Ethereum breaks above this 200-day moving average, that's going to be a very good thing. We did have the little death cross back here, but as you can see, it didn't really do a whole lot of bad to Ethereum. We had a giant candlestick the next day, which is why I was telling you guys, don't worry too much about death crosses. They're overrated. Anyway, that's pretty much what I want to talk about on Ethereum, but actually I will also mention Ethereum is also kind of topping out on its RSI before we move on to Litecoin. I want to point that out. Let's move on to Litecoin. Litecoin doesn't have as big of a reason to be topping out at $160 as it did. A big part of why Litecoin is probably topping out is just because the rest of the market is topping out, and the rest of the market's kind of retracing a little bit. Well, it's not retracing, it's consolidating. We want to kind of consolidate a little bit and solidify the gains that we've made in the last couple of days in the cryptocurrency market. And also, as you can see, the moving average, the 50-day moving average is crossing the 200-day moving average on Litecoin over US dollars. So that's not necessarily a good thing, but it's also not it's not going to be the end of the world, guys. $160 isn't as big of a deal on Litecoin as some of these other levels of resistances are on Bitcoin and Ethereum, as I've outlined here. We can go onto the Litecoin over BTC chart, and we can probably do some technical analysis here as well. As you can see, Litecoin is still pretty high, or if we zoom out a little bit more, we'll be able to see this. As we can see, Litecoin is still pretty high on its Bitcoin comparative, especially compared to where it was in 2017. It was kind of just trading downwards, but we actually moved pretty... sorry, that was 2016. In 2017, we moved up here, and then we also had a very big spike up here. This is when Litecoin ran to like $400. But as you can see, we're still pretty high over our Bitcoin comparative. I think Litecoin's going to do phenomenally in 2018. I think all of these coins are going to do phenomenally in 2018. And I also think the cryptocurrency market is going to do phenomenally in 2018. But I want to know what you guys think. I want you guys to tell me in the comments section down below how you think the market is going to do in 2018. I still think there's definitely plenty of room for 2018 to be a bull market. I certainly believe that, and hopefully you guys do also. I think the market is starting to believe that a lot. I don't see as many pessimistic and bearish comments in my comment section down below, which is pretty nice. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Definitely join the Discord server if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you tomorrow, actually. Peace.